I don't know how you do this. First of all, you live on a cemetery, on the grounds of a cemetery.
Yeah.
That's your house there.
And we've been there for
house.
13, was it 12 or 13 years?
Yeah.
But when we moved in, we pulled up, Bex found the house, and we pulled up to the postcode and we're like, oh, this is in a cemetery. So
we turned round, went back out. The guy was standing there waving, going, come in, come in.
Bex, are you a bit scared of things like that?
I'm terrified of that, and I think this is the wrong thing to be doing for me. I think I'm in the wrong profession.
You're just doing it because of you.
Because of it, yeah. He coerced me into doing it.
It's all about you, isn't it?
It's all about him.
I'll tell you that.
So where did the idea of this whole thing start? In that because you were quite a sceptic originally, right?
Yeah, and I still am on different things because we see a lot of stuff. So we debunk a lot of stuff, and some of the stuff that we produce on the shows that we make on Ghost Dimension, we don't show people because it's like maybe an orb, which is like dust, or a noise, which could be a floorboard creaking. So I'm always sceptical, and so is Bex. But some of the stuff that we capture is fantastic.
Has anything really got to the point where you're like, I am really scared? This is scaring me.
To be honest, I mean, I'm scared of everything. I don't watch scary movies because I'm scared of everything. But the one thing that stood out in my mind as being the most scariest thing ever was we were at 30 East Drive.
Yeah.
And I was 21 weeks pregnant at the time. I don't know how I did it. The doors, we were calling out on a piece of equipment called the portal, and it was like this.
This it?
Yeah, this is it.
Yeah.
So this is
Talk us through
It was like a portal. You can hear the portal. It's like a growl comes through. And then these doors just flew open. I couldn't believe it. I was shaking.
I heard that.
And there's a noise at the top. And then the door opened. I was terrified. I said to Sean, look, I'm sitting the rest of this out. Film it without me. Because
and you were pregnant
I was 21 weeks pregnant. That was my last show because I was it terrified me. And even to this day, I can't watch that without feeling a bit sick.
Yeah.
Oh,
because I wasn't expecting that. Nobody was expecting it at all.
Where did the interest in the paranormal come originally? Was it as kids or watching horror films or?
Well, we didn't really. We obviously as children, not as children. We grew up, obviously believe in bits and pieces. But then when we moved into this house, we went to a ghost hunt at Tatton Park, and it was Halloween, and me and Bex had no experience of the industry, and we turned up full fancy dress.
We're just like fun people. That's what you do, isn't it?
And
no.
They looked at us and they went, "What are you doing?" It's Halloween, it's ghost hunt. We both went as vampires with blood dripping down.
Everything Halloween-y. And they just like slow panned on us when we came in and we were like,
and so they're like being properly serious.
Like properly serious, taking it really
It's not a joke.
No.
So tell us a bit about what you found in your house. So we've got one ghost, two ghosts?
We've got a few, but
I think there's a few.
There's one ghost which is called Ginge that lives in the house.
Yeah.
How do you know his name's Ginge?
Well, we didn't know originally. But Isabella,
When we first moved there.
Saw somebody standing in her room, and she described this figure
I know.
To us, to Bex.
It was just me and her. Sean was out at work. I was unpacking, as you do, unpacking the boxes. She runs through and she goes, Mummy, 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 there's a man in the house. First thought, oh, my God, there's somebody in the house.
Yeah.
So I run through with her. I was like, there's nobody here. And she said, no, he's there. He's in the closet. So I open the closet. Nobody there, empty. Then she goes, I said, is he still there? She goes, yeah, he's still there. He's screaming at me. I said, what's he saying? He's saying, get out of my house.
Bex, is that not enough for you to go,
honestly,
we're getting out of this house?
I got out of the house. I left. I said, right, get your stuff, get out. I said, what does he look like? She goes, he's got red hair, but it's sticking up.
And once again, not scary at all. So, but is that not enough to go, we've got to leave this house?
Well, that's what I said to Sean. I said, look, I don't think we've done the right decision. We were a young family. She was 3 at the time. I was thinking, should we move on? But
And
he was
also,
like,
did the people disclose this to you?
No.
They didn't?
No.
Because you
So we
should
just
really,
turned
shouldn't
up.
you?
Maybe they didn't know.
Well, it was on the market for 12 years before we bought it.
Maybe they did know.
Yes, they knew.
12 years before we bought it.
I mean, do
It's
any
beautiful.
of your friends and family even come to your house to see you?
They used to.
Not anymore.
They
Because
don't come.
my mum used to stay in the 3rd floor, because there's 3 floors up there. And she woke up in the middle of the night with a figure standing over her, staring at
touching
her.
her face like this. She was like terrified. She just froze.
So she repeated that back to the family, and they're like, "Oh,
They didn't come.
And what do your friends and family think?
Not that.
Like, obviously, you know, we have to ask the question, like, what do people think? People are cynical about this, or what do they say? What do you say to them?
You've got to see it, be there
Yeah.
to
To
believe,
it, yeah.
Yeah, unless you are physically there on a location when something happens, it's okay watching it back.
Yeah.
And you can say, it's not real, it didn't happen, but you've got to be there in that moment for it to witness it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's a lot of cynics out there, isn't
There
there,
is.
who will look at that and go, oh, somebody
Oh,
opened the
whatever.
door,
Yeah,
push
yeah,
the door
yeah,
open.
yeah.
What would you say to those cynics out there?
Basically, you've got to be there to believe it. You've got to experience it for yourself to actually believe it, because, you know, we were once that person that said, "Oh, this has been done, this has been." We still are that people, aren't we? We still look at things on TV and go, "Is it
If
real?"
you are that way inclined, I always think as well that just having spirits will go doesn't necessarily mean they're bad. They
exactly.
they just exist. Like some of them are at peace, some of them aren't at peace.
Yeah.
I think if you believe in it, that's the way you've got to look at
Did
it.
they leave you alone now, do you think?
We're sort of numb to
yeah,
it, I think,
we're
especially
still
in the house. We're accustomed to it.
So when you say that, you'll hear a noise and you're like, oh, it's just one of the ghosts.
Yeah, it was only last week I heard footsteps in the hall when we were sitting in one of the other living rooms, and I was like, what's that? Thought it was a child getting up from bed. No.
Just talk us through what we've got here.
So this is some of the equipment that we use on the show. So
I shall listen to some of it.
this is
Oh,
like,
I've seen
you've
all
got
this.
it
Man,
back.
I did Haunted Mansion.
Oh, yeah.
And
Did you-
so I
what
know
did you
all this
use?
stuff. We used this one here.
oh, the
the
K2.
K2?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
it goes
Nice.
red.
Yeah,
when it's
red.
red. There's someone there.
There's somebody
Yeah.
there.
Well, we've got K2 meter, we've got singing bowls, which are Tibetan monk bowls. But
That's my favourite.
What does that do?
What does the bowl
Beautiful.
do?
It sounds beautiful.
But it changes the vibration.
It's very loud. Very, very loud.
Do you put water in it, or is that...
No,
Nope.
so you tap it with this, look, we call this the whacking stick.
Yeah.
And you tap it, and it makes it, and you go around the rim of it, and it starts to produce a sound. And it changes the vibrational energy, we believe, in the atmosphere. And it always helps for us to capture and communicate better, you know. So when we're on an investigation filming for the series, we use it all the time. And we have a chant as well that we play throughout the series.
Yeah.
as well.
Sean and Bex, this is honestly unbelievable. And obviously you can see more of this on your brand new show.
course.
All seasons of Ghost Dimensions are available to watch on STV, Player and Pluto TV.
Thank
Thank you
you
so
so
much
much.
for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
So